News Channel 5 on your side presents Kaleidoscope, focusing on people who make a difference in Northeast Ohio communities.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast today. The annual Glenville Community Festival takes place on Saturday, August the 8th. Cleveland City Councilman Jeff Johnson of Ward 10 is here to tell us more about the Glenville community and the significance of this annual event. Later on, we'll hear from Monica Donnelly Green of So Curly, So Kinky, So Straight Hair Salon. She's one of several women honored by the City of Cleveland during Women's History Month. And on the broadcast after that, we'll hear from the annual University Circle Community Festival salute to veterans on Saturday, August the 1st. Reverend Paul Sadler Sr. and Reginald Bowens will be here to talk about that. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin. Beginning with one of my good friends, Cleveland Councilman Jeff Johnson. Hey, Jeff.
Good to have you. Have me.
Yeah, it's good to have you on the broadcast.
Right?
Tar-blooded to tar-blooded. Both of us
Absolutely.
from out of Glenville High School in the Glenville neighborhood.
I grew up in Glenville, went to Collinwood, but I'm a tar-blooder as well.
Yeah, so it's both places. Huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I claim them both.
Yeah, well, that's
represent both communities as a councilman.
Yeah, Ward 10. Ward 10. You've got the Glenville area.
Glenville, Collinwood, St. Clair. But this is our annual 38 years doing this.
Is that right? The Glenville Community Festival.
Yeah.
What happens at the Glenville Community Festival?
Well, we try to do it differently. We bring so many. We try to do a diversity of things. We have 5 stages of entertainment. We have a senior stage, a children's stage, adult stages. We bring information in for human resources, as well as we have boxing. I mean, we try to do it different. We can't bring in the big names. We don't bring the big names from, that's someone else. Zach Reed does that.
He does that. And
we bring some of the best local bands. We showcase them throughout the day. Reggae, gospel. We've got a little blues and a little R&B, so it's an adult family event.
Where are you holding this at now?
This is at the Sam Miller Park, 88th and St. Clair area, where we've had it for probably the last decade. And it's really a fun time. We have about 10 to 15,000 people who comes from 12 to 8.
Yeah. Why do you do this? Why have you done this so long?
I'm a big believer that when you bring services, you need to bring more than just filling chuck holes or just dealing with police services. That you bring ability for the community to get together, for the community to see their neighbors. We don't have as much as we used to. The neighbor talking to each other over the fence. It's much different than the days when you grew up. And so these are one of those events where we bring people together, where they actually see folks from the neighborhood and they enjoy live, free entertainment and get information. So I think it's important to do that.
Once again, it's going to be Saturday, August the 8th. Starts at Sam Miller Park, which is East 88th Street and St. Clair, right? Right.
And we do, of course, we do 3 things that morning. We kick it off with a 5K run with the Famicos Foundation. We do that through the Culture Gardens from 9, starting at 9, and then at 10 we do the parade. We do a parade through the Glenville area all the way up 105th Street from Superior, turn left down St. Clair, and we end it right at the site of the festival. Yeah.
And the Glenville community is on northeast side of Cleveland. Basically, what are the boundaries of the Glenville neighborhood?
Well, the Culture Gardens on the east, the 88th Street, East Boulevard is our eastern border, and it goes all the way, basically all the way to Eddy Road and a little past. Then you start hitting Forest Hills area. Yeah. Then you go from basically the Bratnall, the lakefront, all the way to Wade Park.
Right on the northeast side of Cleveland.
Northeast side of Cleveland.
About 5 miles due east from, I guess, Public Square would be 105th Street.
Absolutely.
Which is one of the
105th of St. Clair is our central business district of Glenville.
This is an historic neighborhood.
Absolutely.
I mean, this goes back more than 100 years, the Glenville neighborhood.
It used to be called the Village of the Glens.
Is that what it was?
Before it was incorporated.
And I grew up in that area. In fact, Jeff and I, our home's probably about 5 houses apart on the same street on Parkgate Avenue. What is it about the history? You call upon that history, don't you?
Oh, yeah. And there's a great pride. It's a community that has transformed. It was once significantly a majority Jewish community. And then right in the 30s and 40s it became African American, and it's been predominantly African American, though it's become a little bit more diverse in parts of Glenville than we've had before. And it used to be called the Gold Coast. It used to be an area where it was the second home of the affluent. Right. We even had a racetrack in the area before it got incorporated. But we've taken a lot of pride. We've had some very big names in leadership in medicine and the law that lived in Glenville, both Jewish and African American. So it's right now struggling in some points, and because of the housing crisis, because of the economics. So we're fighting hard, and this festival is part of that. You know, we're trying to show them that there's a consistency, a predictability, and we're gonna bring it back.
And once again, that festival is going to be Saturday, August the 8th. Starts at Sam Miller Park, but you've got the 5K run. You've got a parade which goes from East 105th and Superior. All the way
to 88th and St. Clair.
That's the stepping off.
That's the stepping off point.
But this is all day long, and it starts at noon and goes until 8 o'clock. And I was going to say, if we got a couple of seconds remaining, I was going to say that a lot of people don't realize it, but Superman was not born on the planet Krypton. Superman was born in Glenville
on Kimberly Avenue.
On Kimberly Avenue, but in the minds of two Glenville High School graduates in the 1930s.
Yeah, Simon and Schuster.
Yeah.
And we've named the streets after that.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of pride. Mary Motley lived there, as well as you know, others great stars as well. And I do want to say real quick, I just want to thank all our sponsors of the festival. You know, we have Neon, we have Shagala Drug and Sewer District, as well as Ozan Construction and a number of other folks. And just want to do a shout out to them, because without that, we wouldn't be able to do everything free. You know, we provide that sponsorship.
It's wonderful. Saturday, August the 8th, in the Glenville neighborhood, it will be the Glenville Community Festival, and Councilman Jeff Johnson, who represents that part of the Glenville area, Ward 10. We appreciate you being on the broadcast.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you, Jeff.
You too.
Neighbor, Tarblutter, Glenville, all of that. You ought to see us when we get together and talk about it when the camera isn't there. Oh, we tell all kinds of wonderful stories. Good to see you, Jeff.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back in just a moment. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. I'm always glad to have you with me today, and every day that we do this broadcast, once a week. I'm Leon Bibb. Monica D. Green is the owner of the local hair salon, So Curly, So Kinky, So Straight. She was one of several women honored by the city of Cleveland during Women's History Month, and she's here this morning to talk about that recognition and about her work as well. Good to have you with us, Monica Green.
It's a blessing to be here with you.
Yeah, you received an honor at the City Hall, one of the women of faith, right?
Yes.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, I was actually surprised and, you know, humbled, really privileged to have received it. It was an award that they acknowledged some of the work that I've done in the community as a businesswoman, as a woman of faith. I own a hair salon as well as a beauty school, and I give several events for the community each year. So we try to do our part in building economic development, and as well as being a part of giving back to the community.
You see that as vital to not only being a successful businesswoman, but staying involved in the community. Tell me about some of the things that you do in the community, your organization does.
The main two things that we do are two events, and the goal behind those events are to educate the community as well as the beauty professional. So in February, I give it, well, actually we did it in May this year, but I give a event called the Cleveland Natural Hair Care Expo, and that brings a couple thousand people out each year. And then in the summertime, actually every third Sunday in August, which we'll be doing it this August 16th, we do a free event at the Forest Hill Parks where we bring out local businesses, entertainers, and hairstylists, and we do free consultations and just have a good time. It's about family that day.
When did you know that you had to be involved in the community, not just in your business? I mean, we all want success in our chosen professions, but when did you know that you had to be involved in the community?
I've been involved in the community pretty much all my life. I'm a Delta, so that's a community involvement organization. So it's been a part of my fabric. I've worked with the Word Church for many years, and you know, obviously Pastor Vernon is all about community, and I believe that that's just a part of who I am. I know it's so necessary. We have to give back. We have to build. We have to participate. It's important.
What about your formula for success in the hair care industry? You've done very well with So Curly, So Kinky, So Straight, the hair salon. What's your formula for finding success in the professional world?
In the beauty industry, and this is overall, because I'm going to answer the question the way you're asking, but the beauty industry is very dear to me. And that's because you have a lot of young women who may not have formal education, but the vocation of beauty is still gives them the ability to create a career path. So to me, the formula is that if you are consistent, if you increase your skill, if you love people, and you stay focused, then over time you build upon that. And so the reason why I opened up the beauty school is that you have to manufacture that mindset, then you can transfer it into a skill set which you can produce inside of the salon, create a career path. We do a lot of leadership development in there, economic empowerment, and then from that space people can go on and to become their own entrepreneurs and to produce and continue to excel.
Where is the salon and where is the beauty school?
The salon is located in South Euclid on Mayfield Road, 4160 Mayfield Road to be exact. And the beauty school is in Maple Heights. We're right at Southgate Parkway. We have not opened the school yet, but we will be open in probably the next couple of months.
You talk about career paths to your clients. They come in. If it's like the barbershop I go to, as soon as you sit in the chair, whoever's working on you, it's kind of like your psychiatrist.
Absolutely.
You know, and people say, don't they say, Monica Green, how did you do this? What do you suggest I do? What do you tell them when they start asking questions like that?
Well, if I'm talking to someone who's interested in becoming a cosmetologist, I talk to them about, again, being consistent. Once you come through school, that's just the beginning, because that's when life really starts. That's when you really have to start your education. You have to develop your people skills. You have to consistently build your mindset. You have to keep your faith level high. You have to, you know, whatever you believe, you have to, you know, go forth and really stay in that space. And then show up. And just keep showing up on time.
That's what I tell people all the time. Most of life is showing up. If you don't show up, you can't do a good job.
Right.
If you do show up, at least you're in the building, you're in the workplace, and you should be come in with your mindset ready for work.
Absolutely, absolutely. I believe that just as an entrepreneur, as a female entrepreneur, so when you speak about maybe just clients who may not be in the beauty industry, again, it's about believing that you can do it, and even when you're scared, doing it scared. It's okay. You just got to try.
Everybody gets afraid. Everybody gets scared at some point. Believe me, I was scared at the very beginning of my career. I'm scared right now. Well, maybe not too scared right now, but you know what I mean. We all have those moments where we just have to push through the fear. And somebody once told me that you will find your blessing when you go into your problem and try to solve your problem. That's where your blessing is, when you go into the fear. We can reach you at 216-938-9537 for more information. We've got that on the screen. More information on everything we're talking about, or we can go to So Curly, So Kinky, So Straight.com.
Yes.
And that says pretty much what you do, because you deal with all kinds of hair, curly, straight, and kinky, whatever.
That's right.
Whatever it is, it all works. Well, many thanks, Monica D. Green, owner of So Curly, So Kinky, So Straight Hair Salon and the Beauty School, too. Thank you so much for being on the broadcast. You're an inspiration, and congratulations on the big award from City Hall during Women's History Month.
Thank you.
As a woman of faith. It shows all over your face. We can see you've got the faith.
Praise God.
Oh, praise God indeed. Many thanks, Monica Green.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a break. We'll be right back. A salute to veterans after this. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. The annual University Circle Community Festival Salute to Veterans is on Saturday, August the 1st. The event is a partnership between the Mount Zion Congregational Church and the Lewis Stokes Cleveland VA Medical Center and several other organizations. Senior pastor of Mount Zion Congregational Church, the Reverend Paul Sadler Sr. is here, along with the artistic director of the a cappella camp, Reginald Bowens. Reginald is seated on the right, and the Reverend Paul Sadler seated on the left. Gentlemen, good to see you, my friends.
Good to be here.
Oh, good to see you. This is going to be a big event as always.
Absolutely. We're so excited about the University Circle Salute to Veterans Community Festival and Classic Car Show. We have an opportunity, again, to salute our veterans. We think it's so important to recognize the veterans for the extraordinary work that they have done in defending our nation. And so we do this annually. This is the 12th year that we have done it, and it's been a blessing every year to our veterans and to us as well.
You gave me the award some years ago, and I'm deeply appreciative of that.
We were privileged to honor you.
Oh, it hangs in a wonderful place in our home, and thank you so much, Reverend Sadler. And you brought with you the man who is director of the a cappella camp at the church. Tell me about yourself, Reginald Bowen.
Yes, I'm the director of the a cappella camp. It's a 2-week vocal music experience at the church where the students, the teenagers, are allowed to study vocal music and jazz improvisation and jazz theory, and pop, jazz, and gospel.
Yeah. So you got a couple of things going there. You got a lot of things going on at Mount Zion Congregation. You got the a cappella camp, which the church sponsors, and Reginald Bowens helps you with that, and you got the veterans event going on. How do you keep all these balls up in the air, Reverend Sadler?
It's a little bit of work, but we have a lot of fun doing it. We've got so much excitement going on. We are restoring some historic properties on our campus too. So that's an exciting thing going on, and we're going to be dedicating those very, very soon. One of them is going to be dedicated to Mike Shin, the Shin House on our campus.
The late Mike Shin, who was a very good friend.
Absolutely, and who actually was the architect of the community festival from its inception.
Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right? Who's your honoree this year?
Our honoree this year is Judge Michael Jackson, who is the Veterans Court judge and a person who is highly respected in the veterans community. And we're just excited to be giving him our Veterans Award this year.
Yeah, I've been on many programs with Michael, and he's just a wonderful guy. Vietnam veteran. We talk all the time about that. And what's going on with the a cappella camp? Now, tell me about what you've got scheduled. You're the artistic director for the a cappella camp.
Yes, sir. The camp runs from July 20th through the 31st at the Mount Zion Church. It's a day camp for teenagers ages 13 through 19 for the 2-week period. We'll be bringing in special guests from who we're seeing on NBC's The Sing-Off from Howard University, and some other instructors who graduated from Howard University. So all of the staff were alums of Howard.
So there's just a lot going on right there, and I should say that Mount Zion Congregational Church is located right next door to the Louis Stokes Cleveland VA Center at East 108th Street in Magnolia.
That's exactly right.
If memory serves me correct, I've been over there many times. Over just about all my life I've been visiting there. What is it that you try to say when you do these things? You've got the a cappella camp going over here. You got the veterans thing going over here. What is it that you're saying that the church should be involved in?
You know, our mission is to serve the community. That's our #1 purpose. You know, the church stands as an institution that has a responsibility of reaching out for Christ to all others who don't know him. Part of that has to do with ministering to the specific needs of people. Helping young people to grow and educating them is an important part of that mission. Reaching out and assisting and recognizing the contributions that individuals have made, like our veterans, is another part of ministering to the community. So our goal at Mount Zion has been and continues to be serving that community and the community at large.
I would imagine that because you're right next door to the VA Center, that a lot of the veterans who come in there find their way in to the walls of Mount Zion Congregational Church.
Absolutely.
They may need a quiet place of prayer, or maybe some counseling or something like that, a spiritual counseling, and you are there for them.
Absolutely. It's been a blessing to minister to the veterans in so many different ways. Veterans come across the street, as you said, for counseling, for prayer. They come to Sunday worship. We have many veterans who've joined the church, who have been patients in the hospital, staying in the domiciliary, who've come over and joined the church. And we've been blessed to go and minister at the hospital on an annual basis on numerous occasions.
The University Circle Salute to Veterans is on Saturday, August the 1st, starts at 11 o'clock, goes until 5 o'clock. It's a big event. It's a festival which goes right there, right in between the hospital and the church, right there on the street.
And actually, we're going to start at 10 at Lakeview Cemetery, and Lakeview is one of our partners. And we'll start at Lakeview Cemetery with a wreath laying at the grave of one of our well-known local veterans, Charles Jones, who was a Tuskegee Airman and the father of former county commissioner, Peter Lawson-Jones.
And in our final 20 seconds or so, with the a cappella choir, with the a cappella camp, this is all keeping with the mission of the church, the things that you're teaching with the young people who come into that, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a good thing. The kids enjoy it.
They love it. Yes.
They love it.
Yes, they do.
You got them singing. You got them singing. You got them hitting all the right notes.
Oh yeah.
And got them right on the beat.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, good to have you with us, Reginald Bowens, who is artistic director for the a cappella camp at Mount Zion Congregational Church, and the Reverend Paul Sadler, Sr., who is the senior pastor at Mount Zion Congregational Church, as I said, located on Magnolia Avenue, right at East 108th Street, right in the heart of University Circle. Good to see you, my friend.
Pleasure to be here.
You too, my friend.
You too.
Sing well. Okay, I'll take a break. Marcia Maccabee of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland joins us. She'll sing a story as well in a moment. So you say you were wondering what Marcia Maccabee is going to talk about today. I'm wondering too, because she always has something wonderful to say as president of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.
No pressure, no pressure.
No pressure.
So Leon, you know, during the last week's taping and this week, you know, we've had some great assets of Cleveland discussed. And it just, as I was listening to that segment last week and to this one, I'm just bursting with pride today about our Cleveland.
It's a good town.
It is a good town. And when I think about free events for families and celebrations of festivals and so forth, it really helps to make Cleveland that destination city that we're all looking for it to be.
You know, when I grew up, we were calling ourselves the best location in the nation. You don't hear that as much, but it is. I mean, when you and I were growing up, we're the same generation.
Absolutely.
Best location in the nation. And there's a lot to be said about this town.
There is. And I think the biggest thing is those of us that are native to Cleveland, we need to get on the bandwagon, because it's really time for us to be the ones to carry the pride about Cleveland. Outsiders have it. They come in and say, this is the greatest place. And the incumbents that have been here are like, really? We need to be the ones really touting our Cleveland.
Compared to a lot of other cities, and
Absolutely.
I've been to a lot of them, it is affordable. You can live here, and you can get around, and it's a big city,
Right.
and yet it is a smaller community.
Right.
It's not New York, and we don't have the problems that some of New York has.
That's
but we
right.
got great theater, and we got great people, and great nonprofit organizations like the Urban League and all the others around.
And we have traffic with a small T, not a capital T.
Yeah, you can get here from here to there.
Yes,
I mean, sometimes it's bumper to bumper, but generally speaking, we're doing okay. And if you don't believe it, go to Atlanta.
Oh, yes. Oh,
been
yes.
there, done that.
Been there, done that.
It's a wonderful
Absolutely.
place. I love you, Atlanta. Don't write me letters. I love you, too. But this is home.
That's
I got to
right.
love Cleveland.
Absolutely. And we're glad to be here. Yeah.
This has been a presentation of News Channel 5's Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.